Among all the beautiful things in Earth, there is many unseen things which are yet to be found. But there is something more beyond our very own planet Earth. Earth is just a planet among thousands of planets in the universe. We often refer to our expanding universe with one simple word: space. But where does space begin, and more importantly, what is it? Space, a boundless, three-dimensional extent in which objects and events occur and have relative position and direction. Space is contained with uncountable planets and stars which us, human beings, cannot see with empty eyes. Though we can see the stars in sky, but can you count those? It is impossible to get an exact number for the stars that are continuously roaming around the space. No one knows exactly how big space is. It's hard to determine because of what we can see in our detector. We measure long distances in space in light years, which represent the distance light travels in a year, which is about 5.8 trillion miles. Additionally, astronomers are not totally sure if our universe is the only one that exists. This means that space could be a whole lot bigger than we even think. But does space only contain stars and planets? The answer is no. It has been already discovered that space contains black holes, Milky Ways, asteroids, comets, and other matters. Also, there are exoplanets which do not belong to our planets. Scientists have discovered many of those planets, and the finding is mind-blowing. What is EXoPLNET? An exoplanet, or extrasolar planet, is a planet outside of our solar system that usually orbits another star in our galaxy. There are thousands of exoplanets outside our solar system. Most of the exoplanets discovered so far are located in a relatively small region of our galaxy, the Milky Way. By small region it means the distance, thousands of light years from our solar system. This is all those current telescopes can detect. From NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, we know that there are more planets than stars in the galaxy. The first exoplanets were discovered in the 1990s, and since then scientists have identified thousands of them using different detection methods. It's quite rare for astronomers to see an exoplanet through their telescopes like you can see Saturn through a telescope from Earth. This is called direct imaging, and only a handful of exoplanets have been found this way, and these tend to be young gas giants orbiting very far away from the stars. Of them. So, how can be the exoplanets can be found? According to NASA, most exoplanets are found through indirect methods. Measuring the dimming of a star that happens to have a planet pass in front of it, called the transit method, or monitoring the spectrum of a star for the telltale signs of a planet pulling on its star and causing its light to subtly Doppler shift. Space telescopes have found thousands of planets by observing transits, the slight dimming of light from a star when its tiny planet passes between it and our telescopes. Other detection methods include gravitational lensing, the so-called wobble method. With these methods of finding exoplanets, the scientists did not only find them but also figured out their vital statistics of whole planetary systems. This means the scientists can know the size, color, and distance of those exoplanets. So now, we can know their masses and their diameters. We also know how much of the energy radiated by their star strikes these planet surfaces, allowing scientists to estimate their temperatures. We can even make reasonable estimates of the light level and guess at the color of the sky. These exoplanets are not same as the planets that are roaming in our solar system. They are much different than ours. They have different characteristics and types. Exoplanets come in a variety of sizes, from gas giants, larger than Jupiter, to small rocky planets the size of Earth or Mars. They can be hot enough to boil metal or keep them in the freezer. They can orbit their stars so closely that a year lasts only a few days. They can orbit two suns at the same time. Some exoplanets are sunless thieves, roaming the galaxy in eternal darkness. Some of these planets have their own color that you won't need any filter to get a beautiful photo. So far, scientists have categorized exoplanets into the following types: gas giant, Neptunian, super-Earth, and terrestrial. Gas giants are planets the size of Saturn or Jupiter. the largest planet in our solar system, or much, much larger. More variety is hidden within these broad categories. Hot Jupiters, for instance, were among the first planet types found, gas giants orbiting so closely to their stars that their temperatures soar into the thousands of degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. Neptunian planets are similar in size to Neptune or Uranus in our solar system. They likely have a mixture of interior compositions, but all will have hydrogen and helium-dominated outer atmospheres and rocky cores. Scientists are also discovering mini-Neptunes, planets smaller than Neptune and bigger than Earth. No planets of this size or type exist in our solar system. Super-Earths are typically terrestrial planets that may or may not have atmospheres. They are more massive than Earth, but lighter than Neptune. Terrestrial planets are Earth-sized and smaller, composed of rock, silicate, water, or carbon. Further investigation will determine whether some of them possess atmospheres, oceans, or other signs of habitability. Now let's get introduced with some of the exoplanets that are roaming around the universe. To begin with, let's look at the first exoplanet, which was discovered by Didier Queluz and Mitchell Mayer. The planet is known as 51 Pegasi. 51 Pegasi b, a hot Jupiter orbiting a Sun-like star 50 light-years away. It is one of the famous gas giants. The planet, which is half the size of Jupiter, practically grazed the surface of its star, a revelation that baffles astronomers. Since then, scientists have discovered thousands more. Another gas giant was discovered in 2017, which is named eldddir. Its distance from Earth is 667 light-years. The heat of Ninipgol is too much even for molecules to remain intact. Molecules of hydrogen gas are likely ripped apart on the dayside of Tidley-Loch Ninib-Keltib, unable to reform until their disjointed atoms flow around to the planet's nightside. With a dayside temperature of more than 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit 4,600 Kelvin, 9 billion Kenyan Lidus is a planet that is hotter than most stars. But its star, called 9 Kelti, is even hotter, a blue-type star that is likely unraveling the planet through evaporation. eldddir is a gas giant 2.8 times more massive than Jupiter, but only half as dense. Scientists would expect the planet to have a smaller radius, but the extreme radiation from its host star has caused the planet's atmosphere to puff up like a balloon. Besides the gas giants, there are another type of exoplanets which do not contain gas but have rocky surface. The star now we are talking about is known as 55 Cancri, also known as Janssen, a potentially rocky world and larger than Earth. Its distance from Earth is 41 light-years. The molten surface is completely uninhabitable, but above the burning horizon. 55 Cancri is a super-Earth exoplanet that orbits a G-type star similar to our Sun. Its mass is 8.08 Earths. It takes 0.7 days to complete one orbit of its star, and is 0.01544 astronomical units from its star. Its discovery was announced in 2004. Another super-Earth exoplanet is called T270b. It is about 73 light-years away in the southern constellation of Pictor. The M-type dwarf star is about 40% smaller than the Sun in both size and mass, and it has a surface temperature about 1/3 cooler than the Sun's. The innermost planet, TOI 270b, is likely a rocky super-Earth about 25% larger than Earth. It orbits the star every 3.4 days at a distance about 13 times closer than Mercury orbits the Sun. Based on statistical studies of known exoplanets of similar size, the science team estimates TOI 270b has a mass around 1.9 times greater than Earth's. In this long run of space journey, scientists have never stopped to find an Earth-like planet which can suitable for life. Terrestrial exoplanets are quite similar to our own Earth, having rocky surface and bigger in size. In 2017, NASA announced the discovery of the most Earth-sized planets found in the habitable zone of a single star, called TRAPPIST-1. This system of 7 rocky worlds, and all of them with the potential for water on their surface, which is an exciting discovery in the search for life on other worlds. Future study of this unique planetary system could reveal conditions suitable for life. TRAPPIST-1 is 41 light-years away from Earth. Their density is higher than Earth. Do you like to eat eggs? Well, there is an exoplanet out there in the space which is oddly shaped like an egg, and it is named WASP-12b. Almost 2 times the size of our Jupiter, WASP-12b is a sizzling gas giant whose temperature is approximately 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 2,210 degrees Celsius. Gravity causes enormous tidal forces which are stretching the planet into the shape of an egg. WASP-12b is located roughly 1,200 light-years away in the constellation Auriga. It was discovered in March 2009 via the transit method. It is 1.8 times Jupiter's radius and 1.4 times Jupiter's mass. Scientists believe that this planet will be destroyed by its parent star in 10 million years. Last, but not the least, most recent exoplanet that was discovered in 2020 by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite TESS is TOI 849b. This exoplanet orbits so tightly to its star that a year passes in 18 hours. Imagine if you were living in this planet, how many birthdays would there for you? Don't bother with constant birthday parties though, as there is no atmosphere and the 1530 C heat would melt the cake. What makes TOI 849b particularly weird though is its strangely hybrid nature. While it's around the size of gas giant Neptune, it's dense and rocky, not gaseous. In fact, it's the largest rocky world yet discovered, 40 times as massive as Earth. There are more exoplanets which are discovered by the scientists, and many are yet to be discovered. Thousands of telescopes are working to monitor the planets. No one what could found in the space in the next minute. It's amazing to know that how vast space can be. However, some of the exoplanets are really very terrific in consideration of their molecules and temperature.